I've been making cards for a while now, and I've realized that there's one thing that rarely gets talked about: how much you can actually do with the dies that you already own. So I've decided to grab a few of my Christmas die sets and share a few of my card making secrets as we create two Christmas cards. Hello, everyone. Miss Carrie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome here if you're new. Grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's chat about different ways that you can use dies on your card making projects. Most of the time, you've already picked out the focal point die or the sentiment, and you begin wondering what you're going to do for your background. Instead of reaching for a stencil or pattern paper, check your die set first. You might already have the shape that you need. I'm using the cloud die cuts from this collection. I've laid the clouds out in a horizontal line, and they're being held together with a strip of mint tape. This is a low-tack tape, and it does double duty. It's going to keep the clouds in place, and it's also going to work as a mask to prevent me from getting ink where I don't want it to go. With these clouds, I'm using two blue ink colors. I'm starting with the darker color first. I'm just going to work my way up to the top, creating some layers of clouds. Each time I place these down, I shift them slightly to create some variation in the sky shapes. Once I've finished with the darker color, I'm going to come back with a lighter blue and repeat the process, shifting each cloud slightly as I blend. This is what keeps it from looking like a repetitive pattern. Once this is done, you have a beautiful background, and it's been built from the dies you already own. Now, when it comes to layering die cuts, we all love the look of dimension, but a lot of times we don't want to add a bunch of foam tape. Whenever I'm creating detailed die cuts like this little gingerbread airplane, I like to cut every piece out in all the colors that I'm using. And there's a reason for that. I can layer these die cuts to create dimension without the need for foam tape. It solves the headache of trying to squeeze foam tape under those tiny pieces, and it also makes these easier to mail. You can also create shadows by cutting layers out of black or gray cardstock and offsetting them slightly behind the main piece. This creates an instant shadow, and it's going to separate this die cut from the cloud background that we created. Now I just have to build the body of the plane in stages. I wanted a white window and some little gumdrop windows on the side. So as I'm layering each of these die cut colors, I'm able to create all of those parts and pieces and give it a little bit of dimension. This looks like I've used some foam tape, but in reality, it's just layers of cardstock. Here's another tip for you that also involves layering. When I have small connector pieces like this one for the banner, they don't always stay in place, and they easily bend when I start to lay all of the parts and pieces down on the card. To prevent this from happening, I will cut two of this die cut shape, and then I will sandwich the banner in between these two connector pieces. This helps reinforce those thin pieces of cardstock and prevents them from popping off the card later on. All right, so we have our little gingerbread plane all finished. I'm going to share some more die cutting tips with you as we create this gingerbread house. Like I did with the airplane, I am going to bring in a darker layer onto the back. This is just a deeper shade of brown that's going to help those details pop even more. Now, if your die has etched detail, like this gingerbread house here, ink will bring it to life. I like to choose an ink that's close in color, and then I just lightly brush it along the etched lines. This makes those details actually visible instead of getting lost in the paper. All right, so I've gone ahead and placed the rest of the die cuts down onto this little gingerbread house so that I can share some more tips with you on how to use your dies. Most of the time, we receive a little label with our die cuts or some cutting instructions that show us some simple ways to use all of these dies. But I really encourage you to think beyond the label. On this Spellbinders die set, these pieces are meant to look like snow. You use them to build little caps around the door and the window. Now, I decided to cut them out of a green cardstock instead and make it look like a garland. It's the same shape, but cutting it from a different color gives you a completely different look. On the picture, it shows that the roof has snow on top of it, and they did these layers out of blue and white. Now, of course, I wanted to bring Christmas lights to my little gingerbread house, so I used that top layer die and I cut some circles out of green and red. Instead of placing down blue dots to mimic snow or ice, I'm placing down some red and green dots to give this a festive look. If this type of die cut detail is too much for you, there's a lot of other options. Instead of cutting out the little circles for Christmas lights, you could bring in some gems, sequins, or simply use some markers or colored pencils. It gives you the same festive look with a little bit less work. This next tip is honestly my favorite one. I'm going to use one die and create two completely different looks. So this gingerbread border is part of the Spellbinders collection. For the first border, I cut the die out of white and a gingerbread color. When they're layered together, it becomes mountaintops that will sit below the airplane. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down real quick so that you can see what that looks like. When I lay this gingerbread airplane and the banner in place, you can see it creates an adorable Christmas scene. Let me go ahead and just set this aside, and I'm going to show you how to use this border die in a different way. For this card, I also created that cloud background with my die cuts. This time I'm going to bring in an arched frame to layer over the top of it so that I can place my gingerbread house in the center as a primary focal point. Before I layer these together, I want to create some snow to set my house upon. Using that same border die, I cut out a snowbank, and this is going to sit behind the house. It's the same die that I used on the other card, but it gives me a different outcome just by changing the colors and the amount of layers that I use. And there you have it. 2 Christmas cards, multiple die cutting techniques, and none of this requires you to go buy new supplies. You can scan that QR code and head over to the blog for the full supply list and some extra die cutting tips. You can also find everything that you need in the description below. If you enjoyed today's project and it encouraged you to try something new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this with a crafty friend. Now go grab yourself a cup of coffee and start creating.